All right, brother.
All right. This is one of the early episodes of my 7-Day Hustle podcast. So, and
hey, cheers.
Cheers. There we go. Introduce yourself, sir. What's your name?
What's up, brother? This is Luis Oliveros, here in Louisville, Kentucky area. And very, very happy to be here with my brother Kyle. Happy to have met him a few weeks ago. And it's just awesome when you get to meet people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
And dude, you know, the connection was definitely there from the beginning, and just happy to be here, brother. Just happy to be here, man.
Thanks. You're one of those people, like, I didn't know you, and I felt like I should have, because of the way that you introduced yourself to me. You're like, hey, what's going on? In a way that, like, I was questioning if I had met you before or not, and I had forgotten. Like, you were just like that eager to meet me.
We did in spirit, brother, somewhere, sometime in the universe before we were probably even born on this earth, you know?
Well, it triggered a response. I was like, man, I got to step my game up now and, like, get to know this guy, because he's way ahead of me on the get to know you page right now.
It's my personality sometimes can scare people, bro. And I don't mean to.
Yeah, but that's,
you can, like, blame that's straight DNA from my mom, man. Swear to God. He's never met a stranger, you know.
It's refreshing though. It's refreshing, and it, like, immediately knocks down the walls of just not knowing somebody, you know?
Yeah, sure. It doesn't work with everybody. I've had people that I've done that with, and they just kind of look at me like, what do you want, dude? You know what I mean? Like, it's happened to me, and I'm like, okay, wrong guy, wrong energy, move on.
Probably didn't want to know them anyways.
I didn't. That's the truth, though. I didn't want to know, you know? So,
right.
But yeah, awesome, dude.
So we've got this, we're going to talk about this topic of branding and passion.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we first talked, you've developed a couple different brands and are still developing more. And that's something that I never really even thought about. I mean, like, you know, there's brands out there, but the idea that there's a thought process involved in developing a brand and a passion behind it is something that was kind of new to me, as far as, hey, this is a mind behind a brand.
Correct.
So what do you have to say on that? Basically, I mean, it's kind of a broad statement, but there's a feeling that goes around a brand, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And like, one of the ones that you came up with or that you developed was Nasty Good, like you were telling me. Yeah. And where does something like that originate from?
You know what? It's I think it's individual. I'm a creative person to begin with. Okay. Yeah. I was born creative. I started being an artist when I was, like, in elementary school. Mm-hmm. And it was inspired by my best friend at the time, believe it or not, elementary school, and his parents, his mom. His mom was a superstar, just unreal painter. And to be honest with you, dude, that's where it started, the seed. You know, I always believe that we're all born to do something great. Yeah. We're all born with an ability to have a passion for something. We really are. Yeah. You know, either Michael Jordan or that unknown artist that after they die, they become billionaires. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I mean, that broad spectrum, you know, you could become Mother Teresa, you know, people like that. So, I mean, I just think that I've always followed my passions. And I'm an artistic person. So I'm very in tune and deep. I can feel emotions, you know, I'm just that kind of person. Yeah. Everybody, in my opinion, can be successful, dude. Anybody. I don't care who you are, where you come. It doesn't matter. It's you either know something early in life or it happens later in life. Okay. For me, I was very blessed to be able to pretty much all my life do the things that I love to do as a hobby or as a profession. Okay. And my first hobby was weightlifting, weight training. And I was very fortunate, man, just to be in the right place, I guess, at the right time, and get involved with some gym guys back in 1995 or 94, 95. And by the time it was 8 years later, 10 years later, I owned my first gym. Okay. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. I was born one. That's straight up. I'm an entrepreneur. And that's kind of, that's the deal. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I love working for myself. I love creating things for myself. And when you have that in you, you have to let it loose. Or you're going to be a miserable, depressed human being. Okay. So that's how it started. You know, I owned my own gym. Don't get me wrong. It was very hard. Very hard business. I realized that after about 10, 12, 13 years, it's like, man, I feel like I'm a hamster in a wheel. I really wasn't getting to the levels that I wanted to on a financial level, things like that. Today, that's what I'm trying to do, is make money, right? Okay. You know, doing what I love to do is huge, but I got to make money. So I decided that I'm going to go into the way to do it in that business, honestly, was create my own franchise. Right. So I'm not very good at following other people's crap. Like, I don't want to follow somebody else's crap. I want to create my own crap. Okay.
Well, that's what makes you unique.
That's right. Yeah. And so I said, you know, I have an idea, I have a concept, and I have the years of experience. So I started just writing down what my concept of a gym that I can franchise would be. And I started to write it down, and I spoke to in fact, a friend of mine that was actually a trainer there at my gym at the time. He loved it. And believe it or not, he's like, dude, I want to be involved. How much money we need? I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to partner. And so it's like, hey, maybe this is it. So him and I financially got together. It was, you know, mostly my idea, of course, but just the right people and everything happened. What I didn't know was about to happen was it was kind of a really bad time to start one. Okay. It was 2007. And if you look back at 2007, the time, the economy tanked. Okay. And so I didn't know, dude. I had no idea. We just put down $150,000. I'm still running my gym, trying to keep fueling my gas tank. I took part of my gym and I gambled on this new concept, new idea, and it was booming. Okay. And sold my first franchise before I was even ready to sell franchises. Okay.
Which is a major win and a major stressor at the same time.
Huge. Yes, bro. Yes. It was a nightmare. I'll be honest with you. It was an absolute nightmare. And I ended up splitting with my partner. It went bad as it can get. Okay. But I wanted to keep going. I'm like, I can't stop. I just started, man. You know what I mean?
You're in it. Going. Yeah, you're in it now. I mean, you can't give up that early.
I can't, dude. I can't. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go until I know that I have no breath left in me to keep this going. So it got worse. The economy got worse. Banks weren't lending. So here I'm a franchisor now, needing franchisees, and I had them. Had first quarter made $100,000. First quarter of 2000. Actually, it got to about 2010 is when I went ahead and went crazy with the whole franchise. You know, I had to get a lot of learning, and I had people to learn from, which is very rare too. Trust me, I had the people and all that. So I went crazy about 2010, thinking things were going to turn around. had the customers. Those customers couldn't get money from the banks. The banks weren't lending.
Yeah.
So I was losing fuel fast,
Yeah.
So what do? You're in this plane and you're flying high. You really are. You're feeling phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, okay, I have a parachute. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, shoot, there's got to be, things got to turn around. They got to turn around, man. And then I've got my parachute on and I got the door open, trying to figure out what to do. Seriously, you know what I mean? It was just like when I realized that there was no runway for me to land on.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Okay. I'm like in the middle of the ocean. I don't see any islands, man. Okay. Because I would have landed on any island. I didn't give a shit if it had a runway or not. Right.
Right.
Just but there were none.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had my parachute and I jumped off the plane, bro, so I can really just to be able to try again someday,
salvage whatever's left. And there's, so do you think that, because at any point in time for somebody that's basically at that crossroads, there's a level of what makes, there's a decision that's made with and without emotional attachment.
Oh yeah.
Because the emotional attachment includes your I'll say the P word, pride, and it includes all your hard work, and it includes your vision, and it includes your passion, and the non-emotional attachment is all based on just cold hard facts.
Yeah, absolutely. And being a passionate person, you've met me.
Yeah.
I'm a very emotional, I'm in tune with people's feelings kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's just how God made me.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very love who I am and who God made me to be. And I just want to keep getting better as a person, I was emotionally attached to that. Okay. And that was a big mistake, to be emotionally attached. The other thing was, I can see that massive grand slam being hit. And that's, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, that's what I'm trying to accomplish in my life. Right. It was happening, man. It was like, holy crap, bro. In 2, 3 years, 5 years, I can go buy a Lamborghini in cash.
Right.
That was the real, those are my visions. So those are things that I want. Right.
Yep. And
when that's gone and everything's gone, like the economy tanked, the biggest gym out here, one of the biggest multi-million-dollar gyms out here, also failed too. They couldn't keep going because they kind of opened up. They actually opened up 3 years earlier than me, believe it or not. They had momentum and they had money.
Yeah.
Okay. They were like a Bally's. All right. That kind of money stuff. Right. Yeah. Big gym too, bro. I was a little 2,500 square foot gym.
Right.
Bro, they went out too. They couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So looking at that, I'm like, it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Small, big, it doesn't, how long you've been in, how much money you have in the bank. It did not matter.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to make it. So those things kind of made me feel like, okay, it wasn't all my fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it hurt me personally because, man, it would have changed my life in so many ways for my family. You feel me? On a financial level, dude.
Right.
And so how do I recover from that mentally, emotionally? Be honest with you, it took about, we're 2020 right now. That was 2010. It took me about 5, 6, 7, 8 years to be like, what do I do now? Like, that's all I knew.
To get over the heartbreak of losing something like that.
Yeah, it was hard, dude. I ain't gonna lie. It was hard. And I love sharing it with people because, I'm 48 years old now. So I've done a lot.
Sure.
And I've learned one thing is that what looks like failure, it's not failure, dude. Right. It's a lesson.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's a lesson.
you saying that, jump back to kind of at the beginning of this, when you said that, it was the wrong time to get into it, but was it really the wrong time based on how you're looking at it?
At the time, it was the wrong time.
It was the
I
wrong
look back
time
at
economy wise, but what I'm getting at is, when is the right time to start?
it's always the right time to start.
Right.
It's always the right time to start. And I tell you, I didn't know that the economy was doing what was happening with the economy. Nobody knew.
Right.
Okay. And I'm already deep into it, bro. Deep. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this happens. Well, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where, like you just said, when is the right time? The right time is now.
Right.
It does not matter how it turns out, because the biggest thing I preach today now with my experiences, you always win. You always win.
Right.
Okay. And the champions of all champions, the people you read about, the people you study, the books that you read, they're basically really simple people, really not any smarter, greater, prettier, uglier, more expensive. They're what I call, they never quit.
Right.
Well, so stubborn, right? Stubbornness is powerful.
Right.
I'm a very stubborn person.
Well, and it's a matter of putting yourself in line to be vulnerable too. Like, you have to want what you want bad enough to put yourself in line to be vulnerable and to be hurt. Because if you don't put yourself in those situations, you'll never you'll never learn any lessons to grow off of, for one thing. So you'll stay stagnant. And that's something that is almost a common phrase once you get into the personal development realm. But for somebody that's not inside that personal development realm, or in growth, or an entrepreneur or anything like that, that concept is completely foreign. And in order to enter into that, you quite literally have to remove any sort of reservation that you have and just go for it.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. True entrepreneurs, in my belief, is they're born that way. I don't think you can teach or show or preach or make somebody an entrepreneur. I don't believe that.
Right.
I believe once an entrepreneur, you're born that way, whether you become one in the beginning of your life, like I did, or have that opportunity, let's just say 20, 30 years later, because you have to be able to beat the crap out of fear.
Right.
Got to beat the crap out of it, and that's where I can look back now. The difference between me and 10 years ago or 20 years ago is I'm a little bit more, I don't rush anything. I'm not in a hurry.
I remember you saying that when we had just first met. That was something that was very important to you.
I don't have to, because it's going to work out the way it's going to work out, and it's going to work out to my advantage. Okay, regardless. All right. So I'm just consistent, and I'm persistent. And every day I'm doing something toward my goals, my visions. And I let the big stuff that I can't really carry, I just give it to the big dog upstairs. You know what I'm saying? I let him handle it, man. Because I can look back at,
Well, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I can look back at everything now, and that's the fun is I can look back and say, oh my God, it all worked out better than I expected. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Because somebody, the guy that created me in his image doesn't ever want me to lose.
Right.
And I never will lose. Always wants me to have the best of everything. There's things that are in my heart for a reason, man. They're not there for just crap to be. No, they're there for a reason, and it's for a good reason. So I look forward to tomorrow, man. Seriously, every single day. My new life, my new things the things I've been able to create. Gosh, it's so cool, dude. It's so cool. You know what I mean? It's cool.
When you enter into something that's bigger than you, and you have faith, because that's something that I'm not afraid to share. And I know that you aren't either, is that it gives you more power to take more risks when you realize that you are able to enter into something that's bigger than yourself because you have support that's bigger than you. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely.
Which is, the big man upstairs, the
Yeah,
influence, God's influence in your life. It's just plain what it is.
that's it.
And
Yeah.
like I can't remember if it was you or somebody else. I think it was me and Brian Hess were talking about it, but almost the art of being reckless, because
Mm.
we decide we decide what type of risk we're willing to take by how reckless we're willing to be. What am I
Mhm.
willing to put on the line? What am I willing to risk? What am I willing to sacrifice?
Yeah.
How big of a chance am I willing to take? Well, if we have a certain standard for our lives and know that there's somebody that's bigger than us that always has our backs, that's where the footwork of giving it over and surrendering your needs to somebody, to God,
Yeah.
comes into play, to where you're like, I'm going to do something that would go against my my natural reasoning and my comfortability, because this is, if this doesn't work, then my whole basis for my life, it's pointless.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
right.
you're
Yeah.
going into something that's outside yourself. But I've got a question for you, and I'm curious on your response. Is that the relation of vision versus passion?
Mhm.
Which one do you think comes first, and which one do you think is the more driving force? Like, does the vision
Uh,
create the
oh,
passion, or does the passion create the vision?
I, my perspective, and I guess my personal, my life, speaking about my life, everything is that I've been able to do, and just being involved in, very blessed,
Yeah,
passion. So I had a passion for weightlifting, right? At one time, I was an athlete, loved it.
yeah,
Passion for health and fitness, passion for that. And I think that passion just kind of uh, manifest and help me bring in the people, like, the law of attraction, help me bring in the people that I needed,
yep,
that I didn't realize I was going to be in a gym business, man, for that long. And I, I had no idea I was going to go to school and be a science teacher, psychologist, or something like that.
yeah,
And it ended up being greater than my own even vision. Okay.
yep,
But
yep.
once that started happening, I started having the visions. Okay.
Hmm.
And first it was just a passion, man, of
I
just
just like this so much. I don't even
doing
know
that.
what exactly it is about it that I like. I just know I like this environment.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about what's going to happen.
Right,
It's going to be great. I'm telling
right.
you, it's going to be awesome. All right. Um, when I, the punch in the face was when I got out of the gym industry, the fitness and health industry. The scary part for me was, what's my next passion? I lost my passion for it. I did.
Yeah,
So there I had no more vision for it.
yeah,
And I actually created the first brand that was called Rotwear, which is actually part of the fitness business industry. I even shut that down
yeah,
and it was doing down because I didn't have a passion anymore.
hmm,
Okay. Um, so anyways, I was trying. So for a few years, I was that guy in the desert, just trying to figure out my life, man. I really was. I
yeah,
was pretty lost. Um, and I guess just the fact that I just had this idea with the apparel, with the art thing, and that's when I was in the gym business. I was actually doing that. I'm like, hey, man, I think I got something here I
hmm,
can be passionate about again, right?
yeah,
So, dude, I just started, like, I guess allowing my brain to think,
hmm,
allowing my heart to just go after those things. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea. I'm still in the beginning phases, man. I'm still like, I'm still learning. I'm still trying. I'm still failing in a sense.
yeah,
Okay.
quote unquote. Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I'm still, I'm my fear is 1,000 times less than it's ever been. Okay.
Do you feel like that's because you weren't as emotionally attached to this one as you were the last one? Like, you're obviously still passionate about it.
Right.
But the emotional
Correct.
attachment this time is different.
You got that right. That taught me, okay, the past taught me to be careful what I get emotionally attached to.
Yeah.
Okay. So like you said, passion's important. Passion's the fuel. Okay. Emotions can destroy it all. Okay.
Right.
So the emotion I had to this time around is I can be passionate about it and love it. And if somebody wants to come and buy my brands for like 100 million or 200 million or 300 million, I'm like, okay, where do we sign?
Right.
You know?
Right. Sure.
I'm good, bro.
Yes, sir. Insight now.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's the difference. You see what I'm saying? And so now in the process, you know, I have to figure out again, it's the real world here. We had 2020 and 2021, right? So here in 2019, I hit a home run with one of the brands, and 2020 I was gonna focus on another brand that I wanted to launch, and I was gonna go, you know, get in front of people and start building and creating it.
Yeah.
What happened? That didn't happen.
Shut down. Yeah.
What do? Well, dude, you adapt, right?
Yeah.
You adapt. So I'm like, okay, I got a family to feed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got all, you know, the pressures are huge, right?
Right. The necessities creep up.
Yes, but I was not in a panic.
Yeah.
I did not panic. Okay. I did not panic because I know I was doing the right things. Okay. And I know that my God is going to take care of every need that I have and then some.
Right.
Okay. And so patience right now is the biggest thing I work on. Being patient. My emotions are always in this control mode of I'm not too high, too low. And it's working. It's really helping me overall too with the stress levels, you know what I mean, of life. And my as long as I feel it in here, man, it's gonna happen. And I know that for a fact because what I have today has come true.
Yeah.
Okay. Has come true. I have everything. I have it all. Right. Everything that I do now, honestly, is just to see if I can. All right. And that's it, man. You know, it's just, I want to have fun with it, man. And I'm having a great time. So, you know, 2020 hit, I had to go find a job. Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's hard for me.
Which is going against the entrepreneurial spirit.
Oh, it's like, ooh,
this is the last thing I want to
do. I gotta go like, I gotta go help somebody else make money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta help somebody else get rich. Like,
that's
against my core values, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Yeah.
And I love Kevin and ADC Paving. You know, it's my boys, it's my family. You know what I'm saying? I love them to death, but nah, bro. I want to nah, bro. Like, it's got to end eventually. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the
thing about it is
go ahead.
And he knows that though.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? He totally gets it. He'll come to me and goes, you in for another year, bro? You in for another year? I'm like, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Don't commit me that far.
I know. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? But
I ain't gonna leave you hanging, but don't commit me to anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the relationship I've had with those guys for, you know, Kevin, 8-10 years now.
Yeah.
Bro. Phenomenal. I mean, I wouldn't change anything, man. That's my family. I love them. There's nothing but mutual love and pushing each other for success.
Yep.
Man, I'm in heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what's my vision is, of course, my brands or one of them, whatever, you know, going to levels that again, are dreamy, right?
Yeah.
Bass Pro Shops, you know, Cabela's, you name it. You know, my
Yeah.
brand's going in there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
But if
what I see happening.
But if you don't vision that, then you'll never get there. You know what I mean? So it's
Well, yeah, you gotta,
it,
you got a vision.
it has to be
Yeah,
dreamy. It has to
yeah,
be beyond, yeah.
yeah. Those guys, dude, those brands ain't no better than me. Are you serious?
Well,
They
somebody
ain't no
had to
better than
start
me.
them. Somebody had to
They're
start
in,
them, and somebody had to
they're in
start
the
them.
same boat as me. Same boat
Right.
as me.
Right.
Maybe even worse.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I love the fact that I know that whoever it was persistent.
Right.
Okay. And that's the difference. Okay. Is going again and doesn't always maybe work out the way you do. I don't know where this is taking me. To be honest with you, these brands may never go to that level, but I'm going to tell you this, it's going to open the door to something else that's going to take me to that level.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying now?
Yep.
Okay. So this could be a complete stepping stone to something that I can maybe not even fathom, because I'll be honest with you, dude, I had no idea that I'd be doing what I'm doing today.
Right.
And I love it. Love it. I'm more in love today what I do than I was in the gym industry, fitness business.
Why
And
do you think that is?
It's maturity, wisdom, growth, loving today, grateful to today for today, bro. Okay.
Which just plain comes with time.
That's right. Time. That's right. And I'm very grateful. You know, Saturday, my father-in-law passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
This Saturday. Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff going on, right now. And that man lived 85 years, man.
Yeah.
And dude, that dude, I watched him, and just to see the work ethic, the kids, the people, the kind of man that he was, man. Okay. Yeah. I hope I make it to 85 or more.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He loved his life. He's just a blue collar man. His kids love him. His grandkids love him. We were all there to tell him we love him before he took his last breath.
Yeah.
And dude, what an absolute, like, that just right there is like, I love today. Mm-hmm. I love my day to day. I'm grateful for today. I'm going to go do something fun today that's going to hopefully change people's lives. Yeah. Because the big picture for me, bro, is serving others is where I get my joy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the brands I'm creating are honestly designed to help other people. Yeah. Okay. By proceeds, by making money. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because we need money to do things in this world. Okay.
That's cool.
So that's my main mission. That's my big reason. These brands and stuff are just a tool. Yeah. For my big picture, my big vision. Yeah. And that's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I think that an unsaid factor of what you're saying, as far as when it comes with money, an unsaid factor of what you're saying, and I think this is where it gets very sideways with a lot of people, is when you look at money as a commodity rather than a tool. Mm-hmm. Because if money is a commodity, that's the main thing that you're looking to gather. When you're looking to gather something other than money, whether it be people or just fulfillment in something else, and money is a tool to make that happen, that's when your passion really starts to drive that much further and that much harder.
Yeah. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I know the last 2 years have been hard on people. Yeah. And a lot of people in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. And it breaks my heart, to see what's going on and, not having the power to fix everything. Mm-hmm. But my mindset the last 2 years has been, I've been nothing but prosperous. Yeah. The last 2 years. Okay. I've never seen anything like this in the world. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the most craziest time ever. And I've been prosperous. Mm-hmm. And I don't say that with disrespect to anything or anybody. But I guess I'm just looking at my gratitude for the fact that I'm healthy. You
Yeah.
know, I have a healthy family, and I'm growing in so many different ways. My business is growing. I'm growing. You know, and I hope that I can help people around me to grow too.
Right.
So
So you got in with how branding then fits into this is, I feel like there's a certain amount of, you know, passion comes out through a brand and that just kind of has a common theme. I'm going to pick on you because you're the one I'm going to pick on, is
sure.
that your brands that you put out are going to have a common theme because that's who you are. And so your passion is going to trigger an emotional response and it's going to trigger an emotional response in you. It's going to draw an emotional response from others, and that's going to be portrayed through a brand.
That's correct.
So the different brands that are created, whether it's me with an asphalt company or you with a clothing line or whatever it might be, when somebody sees that brand name, whatever it is, it's going to trigger an emotional response within them.
Right.
And so with you and with the whole entrepreneurial space and pushing a brand, it's like a way to not get so wrapped up in one thing is when you realize that you're pushing an agenda rather than one thing. Does that make sense? You know, and
sure.
because you're looking at pushing a feeling in people, a response, you're looking at pushing a movement. It doesn't have to come through one brand. It doesn't have to come through one gym. If that one opportunity goes down, it doesn't mean that you've lost your passion for what you want to try and do.
Right.
It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't mean that your brand isn't going to get pushed through another avenue. But I think that, you know, with you, what I've seen is that your brand comes from a personal place. Like this, the emotional response of Fat Kid or Nasty Good or Rotwear or Dirty Boy, like that comes, if you know Lewis, you know exactly where that comes from.
Exactly.
You know,
Correct.
and
Correct.
that's gonna, and what you feel based around this brand is gonna be exactly what he wants you to feel, because it comes from, that's the source.
Yeah. And you said it perfectly. My brands are me.
Yeah.
You know, and again, that's because, like I said to you before, the reason I started my own franchise, you know, some 10 years, 12 years ago, is because I wanted to represent who I am.
Yeah.
Not somebody else.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to represent my idea. And I wasn't saying I'm better than anybody else. I was saying I just have a way of doing things different.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll like it, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
well, I've never got the vibe
it was
from
awesome.
you that I've never got the impression from you that it's all about you.
Good. Thank you. That's exactly what I want to hear, because it's not about me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not about me.
Right.
It's about how can I put a smile on your face, man?
Yeah.
How can I make you feel good today?
Yeah.
You know, with what I do, with what I created, whatever it is. Like, for example, Rotwear was definitely a gym brand that my goal was to get you to be excited about going to work out. You know, Fat Kid was right after that. And no, I'm sorry, Nasty Good was right after that. And that was a pure, it was just weird, man. It was at a football game. I came up with it at a football game, my son's football game.
Yeah.
And I yelled it out after we got a touchdown, we won. That's Nasty Good. And the crowd looked at me and smiled. And I literally looked at my wife. I'm like, did you see that? He's like, what? She goes, I yelled out Nasty Good and everybody smiled.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. So I went home that night, dude, and I worked for hours trying to figure out how I'm going to get this logo to look, you know what I mean? And boom, okay, it happened. I put it on paper. I put it on some hats. Kevin Gray fell in love with it, you know, at ADC, and he wanted to be a part of that. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest is history with that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It triggers an emotional response sometimes that people don't know how to describe within themselves. You saying that in that moment in time is like, what he just said describes how I feel.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's positive, right?
Yep.
It's positive.
Yep.
And that even hasn't even hit that's going to be, it's going to be big soon. I look forward to seeing that thing grow. But I tell you what was dear to my heart, I was still feeling a little bit like, I'm feeling a little empty still.
Yeah. There's something else.
There's something else. And that's when Fat Kid brand came out, or I came up with the Fat Kid brand, PHAT, which has many meanings, which are cool as hell. They're all positive.
Yeah.
But I tell you what was so cool about that is, I coach wrestling. So one day, two of my wrestlers were my models that day. And they're like, hey, coach, you know is it an acronym for, is that what it is? It's not a synonym, it's an acronym, right?
An acronym where each letter represents
That's
a word
right.
or a saying. Yep.
So he's like, coach, you got an acronym for that? I'm like, man, I've been thinking about it, but man, I don't. I'm like, why don't you two figure it out? They're two brothers. And literally in 10 minutes, they figured it out. And let me tell you what was powerful about that. I smiled because they literally represented they're literally telling me who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not a religious man at all, but I believe in Jesus Christ, period. God, creator.
Yeah.
I study this stuff. I study weird stuff too, man. Okay.
Yeah.
So they came and they said P for pray, H for hope, A for and, T for teach. Pray, hope, and teach. So boom.
Yeah.
That was it.
Done.
Yeah, that was it. It manifested though into something different right now. So Fat Kid is actually more now the Fat Kid Project.
Okay.
Okay. So now the Fat Kid brand is the Fat Kid Project, which is basically my mission. And my mission is to put as much money into that. See, I want to create my own money through my own stuff. I don't want to go to you and say, hey, you don't want to give $1,000, 501, I don't like that, bro. I really don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do better, right?
Yeah.
I can do better. And I want to create my own products that bring in income or revenue to feed my nonprofit, okay, to help other people. That's the way I want to do it. Okay.
You want to generate it naturally.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Can people give to me and stuff? Sure, they do. That's fine, right? But I'm not asking. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I can do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reality is that's what is it going to be probably 10 times harder? Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
10 times harder. Absolutely.
But
that's fine. I like that.
In the same respect, I would almost argue that it would be easier because you're creating an exchange. And any sort of, okay, so the older I get, the less I donate for multiple reasons. If I don't know where it's going to go to, and the more I find out that most nonprofits are just to fill other people's pockets, if they're far enough away from the giver, they're not as accountable. You know what I mean? So the further away that they get from the giver, the less accountable they have to be. And there's no exchange other than playing on. Do you want to donate to St. Jude's? Okay. Sure, I would like to, but I would like to feel better about what I'm doing. There's no exchange other than the guilt. That's the only getting rid of guilt. That's
guilty.
it.
Yeah.
So
sure,
you creating some sort of exchange in order to build revenue to then put into the nonprofit. It might be harder on the ground level to get going, but I think it's more sustainable in the long run.
Oh, correct. More sustainable in the long run. And for me, that's just what I want to do and how I want to do it, and I always tell, including yourself with your business, you're starting it. Okay. Learn from other people, take notes, ask questions for sure, but do it your freaking way.
Right.
Okay. I'm telling you, it's the better way. I promise you that. Okay. So with that said, you got to remember, your life is your own puzzle. Okay. This company over here, this asphalt seal coat company over here, is their own big puzzle. They got their own pieces. Their pieces don't fit your pieces.
Well, they're their own brand.
Correct. That's right. That's right. Okay. So can you learn from? Absolutely. Yeah. If you got to take notes, you got to learn. Absolutely. But create your own. Do it your way. As much time as you can, and you will, and that's fine. That's great. Okay.
Right.
Being in this business, and honestly, I've been in it in a sense. I can say I've been studying it and in it and doing it for the last 10 years. In a sense, and I've learned so. I keep getting better. When do I hit that grand slam or whatever that I got my own private jet traveling over the world? I don't know. It could be tomorrow. It could be 20 years from now.
Yeah.
It's not the point. The point is, am I enjoying what I do? Am I progressing? Am I getting better? If I take a step back, can I get another 2 steps forward?
Yeah.
Constantly learning. I'm constantly training this brain more than I do my muscles anymore. Okay. I work out, but nothing compared to what I used to. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm training this thing right here to be the most powerful thing I ever had. And I've got amazing people around me. And if you don't want to be around me, bye.
You're not gonna lose any sleep.
I'm not emotional. Yeah, I'm not. I don't care. Even if it's my bloodline, or a best friend of 20 years, or my brother.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right.
Seriously. You get to that point now. Okay.
Which does not come easy, for one thing.
It doesn't.
No. It a lot of times, in order to be comfortable with that place, you got to go through a lot of heartache and a lot of hard just moments in order to feel comfortable with saying that and realize what your why is, and that it's greater than a lot of other things.
Right. Yeah. My wife and I have been together 20 years.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you. My wife and my mom have been just unreal, man. Rock star, hardcore, very good at, what's the word? Not only great supporters, but they'll speak their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, hey, listen, why don't you think about this first?
Yeah.
And believe me, I listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's been times in the past where, honestly, the stress was so high, the loss was so big that it created a very big stress. And I'm thinking, ooh, how do I get my family out of this?
Yeah.
It ain't how do I get Lou out of this?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I get my family out of this? So now I've got to pull a bunch of people out of this, man. So do I tell anybody to scare them to not do what they love and their passions? No. Just know that the right people you need will be there with you and help you, to push you and to smack you in the face a little bit too. All right. So you got to be humble enough to be able to take some constructive criticism too. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's a lot of trust that goes into that, because the people around you want to see you succeed. Yeah. And because I know, speaking for myself, sometimes I don't want to drag other people through that, whether they're willing to or not. But what I need to realize is that sometimes it's a matter of me getting over myself in order to invest into myself. Like me worried about, I don't want to drag them through, is me still worried about me. Yeah. But at the same time, I need to worry about me more. It's almost circular reasoning, because let people invest in you. Let people support you. Let them be involved in your life, how they're willing to be. Don't overthink it.
Right. Yeah, don't overthink, man.
Right.
And I think that's, there's so many great entrepreneurs out there, man, that I follow, that I'm connected to, even though I've never met them, but just by watch their engagements with people, I'm like, me and that guy would hit it off so well, you know, and there's some like, I don't want to drink a beer bag. You know what I mean? Like maybe not even a scumbag. He just, I don't have the connection to him.
Right.
And he's a super successful human being.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, that's just perceptions, you know, at the moment. Person for real might be a completely different element. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, things, man. The reality is, do it with a good intention to help others and serve others, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
If it's a selfish thing, it's all of you. And, you know, you'll step on anybody to get ahead and you'll screw anybody over to get ahead. You might get ahead pretty quickly.
Right.
Badly that you'll never be able to get out of that position. Okay.
Yep.
That's guaranteed, man. Okay. And I've been very fortunate that even when my ideas or my businesses didn't reach the level that I wanted them to reach, I was quickly able to kind of recover. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'll tell you why, because the woodworks to help me.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, hell no, we ain't helping him. You know, we know he's just a user, you know, he's some, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
So because I had to do my best to do the right thing every time and help others, it's kind of cool when you get that love in return when you need it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because I need it all the time.
Right.
Every day. I need people's love and support and help and just whatever, good vibes, whatever. I want it. I need it. Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a very powerful human in a godly way. But at the same time, I'm still a human, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, we all are in our own way. And I think that, you know, you push or not push, that's the wrong word. You develop brands that are very, what's the word I'm looking for? You develop brands that are hard to miss as far as you develop an actual physical brand, whereas people have their own brands of whether they realize it or not, which is basically an interaction. You know, I really, like when I started this whole podcast and stuff, I didn't want it to be connected to my business. It is, but it isn't. I didn't want it to be derived around Integrity Earth and Asphalt. Why? Because I wanted to push Kyle on the brand, a personal brand of my interaction with others. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily putting a name on it. Like in your case, you put a name on your brand and your feeling and your interaction with others. And I think that when people realize that you have your own personal brand, whether you like it or not, make sure it doesn't stink, for one thing, and develop your interaction and realize that you have influence. And that's what it is. I mean, you have influence whether you like it or not.
Right. Yeah. And that's, you know, I like the way you said that, man. You know, I have brands that stand out because that's my whole goal. And sometimes I'm like, do I stand out? You know, you don't know sometimes, right? Until people tell you, you know, like us, you know, right now speaking and being very personable, it's great. And it's like, all right, I'm on the right track, you know, and something cool is going on here. And, you know, for me, I look at, okay, what I can, because I'm an artistic person, my mind can start going all over the place, right? Like squirrel, you know what I mean? Squirrel. Okay. And so that's where that self-teaching goes, and self-learning is no more squirrels. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a moose. A moose is crossing the track. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I've had to reprogram my mind to where, like right now, let me tell you, let me see, who do I got? I got Fat Kid is more of, it's changed. I'm not pushing it as hard on the clothing aspect because it's turned into more my project. You know, it's kind of the home for everything. So what are the brands that are going to help,
Would you say it's
put
more of a
fuel into
movement?
that?
Would you say it's
Yeah,
more of a movement?
yeah,
Okay.
yes, more of a movement, definitely. So what are the brands right now that I need to focus on? Well, I have a brand called Kick, that it's a soccer brand.
What,
Okay.
say that again. It cut out for a second there.
Multi Kick.
One more time. It caught us just in, just in the wrong spot. Go ahead.
It's called Penalty Kick.
Penalty kick. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me get what it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and the reason for that is because for where I used to have my shop, I'm at home. I got God blessed us with like I said, bro, I've been winning, man, every day.
Mhm.
When the economy tanked to 2020, the house that I lived in before, I had to move out of the shop that I had, right?
Yeah.
2-3 of us had to move because business just went.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't even know where to go. I don't even know what to do. I told my wife, the house that we have is just too small. And I kind of went to a little panic mode, kind of trying to figure it out. And God says, stop panicking, you idiot.
Yeah.
Haven't I shown you what I've done for you already?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Think big, bro. Ask big. Ask big.
Yeah.
Ask big in detail, and don't be afraid. Okay. So I'm like, all right, God, I need a big house with a big basement. And
write that down because I've got some things that I've started writing
yes,
every morning, and I'm gonna add that to the list. So
dude.
not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
I've been trying to break this because I function sometimes in a scarcity mindset. Like
Sure.
we take big risks, but at some point in time we toe that scarcity mindset. So it goes, you saying be specific and ask for big things. So one of the things I've been writing down every morning is scarcity prevents God from blessing you.
Dude. Amen. Perfectly said. Okay. And there's where my growth has happened in the last 3 years. All right. That I realized who's my God and who I am, and how powerful he's allowed me to be. And just like if my son comes to ask me, hey, Dad, can I have that big truck over there that's that diesel? And I'll be like, yeah, let's go get it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, am I limited in a sense as a human in this earth? A little bit limited. My God's not limited.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Okay. Let's get that right. All right.
Yeah.
So straight up, dude, it was, I think in August, September, October, in 2019, my wife and I were looking for homes and literally doing it for the business, to be honest with you. Okay. And the family too. So my wife was like, we're all in this together. And a bunch of houses we lost bids on that I really wanted, that would allow me to take my shop and my stuff somewhere,
Yeah.
And dude,
all your needs.
God did better. Let me just say it. God did better. All right. I can't, and I know now what's going to be coming. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's excitingly scary. Okay. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out, man. I'll be honest with you, dude. I'm excitedly scared right now.
Yeah.
There's so many freaking good things that are going to be happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, can I keep up with it?
Well, but that's
Can I do it?
But that's where it comes in, is can I keep up with it? No, you can't, but God can.
Thank you. Yes. So yeah, you said it. So I'm like, okay, God, don't leave me now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's the beautiful relationship I think that he wants us to be in, is where we're in a position to where we're blessed, to where to quote the Bible, our cup runneth over, which is more than we can, translation, more than we can obtain. And it puts us in a position to where we are over our head in what we can sustain as well.
Sure.
And so we're in this beautiful place to where we have to continue our growth in our faith. in order to continue our successes in our life. Not even successes, but we have to continue our growth in order to continue our blessings.
Absolutely, man. And the growth sometimes is painful.
Yeah.
You know, just like lifting weights,
Right.
it's painful.
Right.
But what does it do? It grows you, right? However you want to, right? So it's the same concept. It's same with the mind, you know. So yeah, dude, I'm so excited. I'm very, don't get me wrong, I am nervous. I'm not scared, you know what I mean? But I am nervous.
Right.
Because here's the reason why is because I've studied so many brands like Polo, Ralph Lauren, and dude, they almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they were within hours of you've never even heard who they were. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was almost like in the situations was really cool is like the situation that happened to Ralph Lauren, he was almost kind of like he literally went outside of New York City in his dressed up, you know, nest that he is. He's you know, man's pretty amazing. In the rain, pouring rain, realizing that things are out of his control, he's going to let them be out of control. And what happened that day, he's like, you know what? I'm going to swallow my pride. I'm going to go in the rain in my nice outfit. He was about to go bankrupt. Okay. And he says, I'm going to swallow my pride and I'm going to go ask for some help. So he goes to the guys that own the store where he's selling his product. Okay. Yeah. Believe it or not, he's successful, doing really well, but almost too successful to keep up. Okay.
So that's that one more time.
He was becoming so successful with his product. Like he was selling a lot of product.
Yep.
But he didn't have the capital to back it up. Okay. To keep up with demand.
Yeah.
Yes. He didn't have the supply to keep up with the demand. Right.
Yeah.
So what do you need? You need dineros.
Cash money.
He didn't have any.
Cool. Yep.
He was learning still business, right? So he had too much stuff, too much money going out and not enough coming in, even though he was selling a lot of product.
Yep. Just
so he goes
lag time that it takes sometimes is something that is very, very people are unaware of it until you're in that point. You're like, oh, it's not as easy as I thought it was. Like the lag time and turnover. So just a quick explanation for people that are young entrepreneurs and young business owners and just starting. That's why you're not really looked at as successful until you get after 3 to 5 years, so you can experience some growth and experience some turnover and experience that relationship of, can you manage the waves that come at you in business? It's not about you get it right on the bottom end and it's a slow up growth, man. The graph of growth in business is wild.
Yes.
And can you withstand everything that's about to get thrown at you? Exactly.
And so Ralph Lauren goes to the guys that his product was in their stores, you know, the guys that owned the mall or owned the, and he goes, hey guys, can I borrow some money? Because if I don't, I won't have any product in here for you. And they're like, well, how much do you need, son? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just did a blank check. And that's all it was.
Wow.
And boom, kept business going. So we, at times, you know, and even myself, I've had to swallow my pride, you know, to say, I need help over here. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I look forward to doing it again. I look forward, bro, to the moment where I have to have many investors, okay, to keep my train running.
Yep.
But see, the train's running in a very good direction, you know, and that's all businesses, man. You think Elon Musk doesn't have investors? Okay.
Yep.
You know, all those guys.
Yeah. He doesn't just all of a sudden acquire all of the wealth.
No, they gotta have help. Right. Yeah. But he had people believe in him, of course. And help him with his vision and hey, God bless him, dude. He's successful as hell. And that's where we all have to get to some point. I look forward to that now. look forward to that day where I have to call a few people and say, hey man, you got 100,000, 100 million, that's going to be good. And it'll show that they can do it. They can take that risk themselves too. You know what I mean? That's my job, is to make sure that I'm growing at that point where others can come in, take the risk, and they're going to be rewarded. That's my job.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I got a very big, hard job to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And I look forward to that day. Okay.
Yeah.
It can't come any sooner, to be honest with you, so that's it.
So I've got a couple other questions for you, and we'll start to wrap it up. I've got to get some sleep here. I've got to get up here in about 3 hours and go plow snow for 8 to 10.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
But these are the conversations that I love to get in, though, because you just go. You know what I mean? You just go. And personally, this whole podcast and the idea around the 7-day hustle is that I'm okay with rabbit holes. Like, we can start out on a topic, but if the conversation goes one way, because that's where it naturally goes, that's how everybody's mind works. So why try to fight, like you said, doing something different, whatever this turns out. And this is going to, it's derived from lessons I've learned. It's fueled by other people's contribution, and everybody is all over the place in their own mind. You might be all over the place in your own mind, but it seems like you're pretty on forward in one direction, as from my perspective, because it's a different direction than me. And so he's off going in that direction. I'm going over here, and we're, so everybody's mind is all over the place, and I'm okay with rabbit trails. But so one thing that's been burning in my mind ever since we started is, what type of advice would you give to somebody that's pushing something that they're very passionate about and they're emotionally involved in? But at what point in time are you becoming too emotionally involved? Like, where's the give and take? Where's the if and then statement? How do you still preserve something of yourself to where you don't go down with the ship, or B, don't go through years of depression because something didn't work out the first time, but still involve yourself emotionally to push it how it needs to be pushed? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. What first thing is, there's no such thing as failure. It does not exist. Okay, there's no such thing as failure. Stupid people came up with that. Seriously, all right. And give everything that you have, whether it's a relationship with your mom, your dad, your best friend, your wife, your girlfriend. Man, give it all you have. If it doesn't work out, it's not the last time you get to do it again. I promise you. You know what I mean? It's just the truth. How do you tell? How could I? First of all, what would I tell the young Lou? In the early 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would literally tell him, go all out. I promise you're never gonna fail, but you're gonna feel some pain. You know what I mean? And do not take things personal.
There it is.
Don't take things personal. I'm telling you, especially in business. Business ownership doesn't have emotions. Okay. It doesn't care how you feel that day. Okay. All it will do, it will only react to how much energy you give it. Right. Okay. That's it. It only react, and it will react positively. I promise you. Okay. You have to never make excuses. You screwed up because you screwed up.
Right.
Or, anything I've ever done in my past that didn't work out the way I wanted to. Right. It's all on me, dude.
And that's okay.
That's okay. It's great.
Fine.
Yeah. I got nobody to blame but me, man. You know what I mean? And okay, rub it off. Let's go. What's next? Right. So, for me, it would be, don't take anything personal.
Yeah. Well, and that comes with knowing your self-worth and not attaching your success in business as directly related to your self-worth.
Yeah.
Just because a business that doesn't work out the first time doesn't mean that you as a person are a failure.
No, man, you got 1,000 billion more chances. Okay. I promise you. And be humble. Be humble, because you can get to where you're making that money, right?
Yeah.
And you're able to go out and do things you never could do before.
Yeah.
And I promise you, you'll start to think, oh, you're so good. Oh, you're so great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you start to get prideful, I promise you, you're going to lose it all. You know what I mean? You're going to lose it all. And the people you will lose is the people who helped you get there first. All right. And then nobody else wants to help you anymore.
Yep.
To continue. Okay. And always enjoy and doing what you're doing that day. Be grateful and invite challenges, man. Okay. Invite it. Invite the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Invite the challenge. Okay. And that's what I do every day. It's so for me, it's been amazing. I'm so grateful to say I'm 48 years old.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. A few years ago, because I was emotionally attached and I took things personal, I didn't want to live anymore.
Yeah.
I thought I lost everything. I wasn't good anymore. I couldn't do it.
You had your one shot and you blew it.
That's what I thought. Man. You know what I mean? And then I had a good come to Jesus kind of moment. You know what I mean? It's like, man, what's my plan? Come on, you know what I mean, kind of thing,
Yeah.
And I can just see God say, God, this kid is ever going to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing great, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, really. And and I go back to coaching. I coach wrestling, and even when my kids lose, I said, what'd you learn from that? Let's go over the video.
Yeah.
Okay. Or can you tell me what you feel like you didn't do right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or what you could have done more.
Yep.
Let's not forget what you didn't do right. Let's you do. And they're like, yeah, I got to do this. I got to do that. Okay. All right. You're winning. You see what I'm saying?
Because we now have more information than we did before. Whether on the mat was a win or a loss, we have more information, and you've contributed more than you did before.
Perfect. I had a kid, Saturday we had a tournament, and then we found out my father-in-law was about to go, and we just packed our bags and literally went. And I'm in the match. My phone's ringing. My wife's calling me. My son who wrestles for me, he's like, Dad, we got to go. I'm in the middle of a match with this kid, right? And I'm like, just chill out. Give me a second. I mean, trust me, Grandpa doesn't want me to leave this corner. I know that man. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, finish the job, boy. You know what I mean? And my kid was losing. And what was great about him at the moment was he was listening to everything I was telling him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He was looking at me, hearing me. And as I was calling out the things he needed to do, because he was a pretty rookie-ish kid.
Yeah.
The other kid was beating him up. And I was telling my kid, do this, do that, do that. Dude, he was doing it. Bro, he wins.
No,
okay. Dude, I was like, oh my gosh. I was so pumped. You know what I'm saying? And you can hear the crowd going crazy. And man, and does it happen all the time like that? No. No, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that was a feel-good moment.
Yeah.
And all because of just not giving up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not giving up and learning and listening. For us entrepreneurs and business guys, listen to what happened to you last year. Learn from that.
Yeah.
What can I do better? Hey, guess what, Kyle? You did good today, bro, but you can do better.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Don't ever say I did bad.
Yeah.
Keep negativity out of your freaking mouth.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. Hey, I did good today, even though I lost $10 million.
Yeah.
I did good, but I can do better tomorrow.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
I screwed up that driveway. You know what I'm saying? Driveway looks like crap, right?
Right.
But you know what? I'm going to do better tomorrow.
Yeah. one thing I realized this last season, and we took a big dive and we bought a brand new paver this year, and
Cool.
what's the word I'm thinking of? Basically we bought another new paver. Not many people know that yet, but
Awesome, man.
this new one we bought this year is getting
Congratulations.
in. I signed on one that's 2 sizes bigger, so we're making bigger moves. But the point is that when I first got that one, it was $100,000. That was a big, like, I have never had a panic attack in my life over something that never happened yet. I have always
That's good, man.
kind of been somewhat even keeled, but that first step allowed me to make bigger steps where the panic attack didn't come from, because but so going through those steps and realizing that it's okay, the challenges that we faced that were now bigger than last year weren't detrimental. And I started watching myself almost respond to things differently. I responded better to bigger challenges than I did smaller challenges in the beginning. And so brand new paver, $100,000, didn't even have 50 hours on it. Something happened. I had to go back to the dealer. It was down for about a week or two. And normally in that case, anybody would be just up in arms because, just now their whole schedule gets pushed back. You're not out there working it. It's not making profits. You got to pay for itself. And so the guys at the dealership were just naturally expecting me to be unglued. And and they said, they naturally were, they're very responsive. We'll try to get this done as soon as possible. And I said, don't break your back because of me. I said, I appreciate you wanting to get on it. It'll all be okay. It'll work out in the end. And they literally said to me, the service manager, and then it was passed on to some other people too. The sales guy I heard later, they said, you were one of the calmest people they have ever seen in there in that situation. But my response was this, is I said, look, at the beginning of the year, I didn't even know I would be fortunate enough to have these problems. So
those are beautiful problems.
Any problem we have right now is further along than I was planning on being. So they're good problems to have.
But you listen, Kyle, you have a entrepreneurial mind.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the entrepreneurial mind and the guy who just wants to have his own business. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the thing, you're way ahead of the curve. You've got wisdom beyond your years. And that's the truth. A guy who builds, for example, I mean, we can say Elon Musk, Bill Gates, these people.
Yep.
Listen, a building can fall and they're just like, okay.
Right.
You have to be that way.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to get to that kind of level, okay, of success, if you want to call that, whatever, so, I call it materialistic success. All right. Because I'm successful, you're successful.
Right.
Beyond. Okay.
Right. Well, you said it good when you referred to it as the Grand Slam, which incorporates all the bases. One base is that you're being successful in your mission. Another base is that you're being successful in your finances. Another, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it's everything. It's not, your main goal isn't to buy a jet, but if you hit the Grand Slam, that means you hit all of the points.
That's it. I can go do that. Right. And believe it or not, that's stuff I write in my book. The things that I want.
Yeah.
I mean, being detailed. Like God wants me to be detailed. Okay. So my God doesn't have a poverty stricken mentality.
Right.
My God has a prosperous mentality.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm continuing to think that way. I continue to feel it, believe it. And I look forward to the people that I can serve. Okay. With my successes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what keeps me fueling, man. I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to go do this. I can't wait to go help this foundation or these people, things like that, people that I know need help and trust and whatever, directly or indirectly.
Sure.
dude, that's what makes me happy, bro. That's what makes my heart smile and my soul dance.
Right.
Okay. And that's my purpose. That's it. Nothing else matters, So yeah, I want to build an empire for my children to hopefully be involved and carry on. Doing good things, and goodwill and things like that. So, but I don't want to, an entrepreneur does not feel pressured, like it's too heavy,
Right.
It's not, man. It's not
Right.
heavy. When you love what you do, the challenges that happen every single day, like I have every single day,
Yeah.
are just, okay, I have a solution for that. Eventually I'll have it.
Yeah.
It's just an obstacle, man. It's an obstacle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all it is, dude. So, um, I got a long ways to go. Long ways, man. I'm just, and here's the thing. Remember, Dirty Boy. Okay.
That was my next point. I was gonna have you
Well,
touch on.
you know how that started, right?
Kind of, but
Okay.
go over it again.
If I didn't call Kevin at ADC Paving here in Louisville, Kentucky in 2020,
Yeah.
all right, when I was like, oh crap, 2019, all right, 2019, I think that's what it was. Something I can't, man, time flies. I don't even know. I don't care. Time don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
If I wasn't doing that day, this idea would have never happened.
Right.
And this idea I'm so excited about because it represents the blue collar man.
Yeah.
That's us. Okay.
Yeah.
That is 99.9% of the world's population, or maybe 99.5. I don't know. I got to really get those figures. Everybody's in computer people now. Hey, but the people that put computers together, they got to use their hands, right?
Yep.
Okay. So it's not all computers putting computers together. So I represent the blue. I'm trying to represent, I do represent the blue collar worker legitimately. Okay.
Yeah.
I am that guy.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to represent the blue collar worker in a different way.
Yeah.
Something for them to be proud of.
Yeah.
So that's where Dirty Boy came from. And it was one of our paving guys helping the pave crew that day. And one of the paving guys had a aluminum foil, his lunch, and he had chicken wings in there. And I'm new to the paving kind of thing. And then he goes, "Hey man, hey Luke, can you throw some some hot tar on that for me?" I'm like, I go, "In that aluminum foil, you want to put a shovel on?" Yeah. He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I go, "What's in there?" He goes, "Chicken wings." I'm like, "Ooh, you want me to put hot tar asphalt on your chicken wings?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I need to heat it up." I'm like,
Stop wasting time.
I go, "That's gross." So of course I did it. 10 minutes later, he's over there cleaning it up, and he's opening it up and it's steaming. It's hot.
Yep.
And I go up to him and he's eating them, bro. And I tell you, he's one of our rakers, and his hands, bro, are black, dirty, whatever. He didn't wear gloves.
Right.
And he's literally eating these chicken wings and just licking his fingers like, oh my God, right?
That's a little excessive. And I could see heating them up with the mix, but licking your fingers, like, come on.
I literally go up to him and I said, "Man, you're a real dirty boy," like that. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how it happened, bro. And then he goes to me, "You want some?" And I'm like, "Sure." so I'm eating, his last night's Hooters chicken wings, and and that's where Dirty Boy started. So it never left my mind, bro. I went home and I was just kind of like, hey, it ain't gonna hurt for me to try something with it, right?
Yeah.
It's not, and there it is, that fuel, that fire, that the thinking, the passion. I know what I'm supposed to be. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know my purpose.
Yeah.
And everything around me is a tool. Okay.
Yeah.
So the people around me, the things that I'm doing, all have a purpose, and that's to help me get to my goals.
Yeah.
Okay. To the top of that mountain, all of it. And you know what? Be grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. I'm not going to rush things. I'm not going to push things. I'm not going to force things. I'm just going to work every day diligently doing something that helps me get to first base, second base, third base, hit that grand slam too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're not going to hit the ball if you don't swing.
Right.
How
Exactly.
many times is it going to
I've
take?
seen that phrase come up more times lately than not, as you land 100% of the shots you don't take.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, it was just like crazy. So when I started talking to the guys about it, and I created the logo,
Yeah.
and I put on a hat, dude, all the guys went crazy.
Well, it gives them something to take pride in, that somebody recognizes me as being significant, as being contributing. And the blue collar, for whatever reason, it kind of comes in and out as being that lesser than stigma, or not as important, or just kind of more, dare I say, uneducated. But there is, and so having a brand that promotes you are valued and you are special and you have a place and you're part of a community, and take pride in that. That's, you can't not win when you're pushing something where there's such a big gap in the market.
And I'm personally doing it. You know what I mean? I didn't just drive around in my big old Chevy diesel with my suit.
Right.
Okay.
Pushing
Never got my
something
hands dirty.
Yeah. Pushing something that you don't know anything about. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm out there. You've seen me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Your boys have seen me. I get dirty, bro.
I met you on a job site. That's where
I get dirty. Yeah, I get dirty. I love it. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And I love it, dude. I seal coat. We had an incredible season with ADC. We got our butts whooped many times in good ways. There were some crazy challenging times for sure. But man, I tell you, to see my hands do some great things, bro, the pride that I have for this, Dirty Boy brand, is awesome. And I look forward to the people seeing it. And then my other one is the two that I was telling you, to go back to what I'm working on, focusing on, is Dirty Boy and Just Fishing. So the brand Just Fishing, which is, my son gave me the idea. He's obsessed with it this last year and a half. And I said, man, I got an idea. What do you think about this? And he goes, oh, I love it. Let's do it. So now I'm working on, his and mine. And dude, it's just, what I'm nervous about is not falling into that Ralph Lauren situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to fall in that situation. I want to learn from that. Another one was Tap Out. You've heard of the brand Tap Out?
Yes.
Okay. They almost didn't make it.
Okay.
Either. All right. And they were in the same situation. They, a fortunate situation happened to them, almost actually crushed them. Okay. And again, they had to make phone calls.
Yeah.
It was a capital issue. They needed capital. Thank God they found somebody who can write a blank check.
Right.
And then they sold the company 20 plus years later for $150 million.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, that brand represents something pretty awesome. Okay. Yeah. And most people don't even know it. Okay. Their quality of the product is crap. Like I put on a shirt one time, a Tap Out shirt. I took it off. I was like, this is crap, bro. This is horrible. The Tap Out is awesome. The brand is awesome. The what it represents is awesome.
The emotional response to that brand.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But when I put on their shirt, I was like, oh, I will do better than that. You know what I'm saying? I will do better than that. Yeah. And I'll say my product, my shirts are, you don't want to take them off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like silk. That's important to me personally.
Yeah.
And I'll make it happen.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So everything, right. Again, back to everything about you is going to come through in your brand. You are your brand, whatever the name may be, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right.
But your personal touch goes, you and your brand and the personal touch goes with itself. It's a package deal.
That's right. And it's again, passion is what drives me, bro. Passion, you know. You don't have it, it won't happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let everything else, like I know what I'm great at. I know what I suck at. Well, guess what? I'm gonna find the people who are really good at those things and let them get to work and stay out of their way.
Which
You see what I'm saying?
which is a whole entire episode topic in itself.
Completely. Yeah, it's true. It's so true,
Yeah.
dude. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and that's what I've had to learn in the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I can't do everything. I'm not that good. Okay.
And you shouldn't
I
want
know
to
what
be.
I'm,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
know what I'm really good at. I
Yeah.
know what I'm a master at.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me master that and keep getting better at it.
Right. Right.
And then find the people who are masters at something else
Right.
and then bring them all together. And then, you know, we got a Boeing 747 flying in the sky, having
Exactly.
a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
I hear you.
that's it, man. Yeah,
Louis,
brother.
how do people find you online?
Right now, you know, that's the fun part is I'm in the early phases of Dirty Boy and Just Fishing. So I'm hoping in about,
How do people find you personally?
personally, you can go to my Facebook, which is Louis Oliveros, LewisIs Oliveros, Oliveros,
What is your
or
profile picture right now?
I tell you what. So Instagram too, Fat Kid. Okay, all right, Fat Kid, Fat dash Kid,
PHAT.
PHAT. Yeah,
Yep.
and I've also got my Dirty Boy Apparel. So Dirty Boy Apparel on Instagram also. You know,
Okay.
so I'm getting that going. So yeah, believe it or not, I still don't even have websites for these two guys.
Yeah.
But the issue was honestly inventory. We've been having inventory problems. Like
Yeah.
2 years ago, I had endless amount of hats that I wanted, shirts, hoodies, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't get craps at almost zero right now, bro.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? So these are
Oh
the
yeah.
challenges that I'm dealing with right now.
Yep.
But I'm not in a panic at all. I'm just like, okay, what can I do today?
Yeah.
Okay. And keep working on that. And then just keep looking at my factories and say, okay, do they have this? Okay, let me grab a few of those right now.
Yeah.
But if I launched right now, even my websites, if I launched them, I'm limited to what I can even sell you. You know what I mean?
So it's
You know what I'm saying?
it's a hard thing to know when the right time is to pull the trigger.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. It's just like you got to go grab asphalt, and there's nothing at the plant.
Yeah. We got
Literally.
time, right?
That's my problem right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it'll work out. It's going to happen in time.
Yeah.
Well, what can I do during that time? How do I keep building and growing and getting out? So you know what I've done? So I got a bunch of stickers, and I'm literally going out to blue collar workers and handing them stickers.
Yeah.
And bro, look at their faces go, oh man, thanks, dude. And then I tell them what it's about, and they freak out.
Yep.
They freak out. They're like, where can I get some? I'm like, you know, so that's it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, man. You know.
Yeah. Well, and then I mean, it's easy to push on social media just things like, what is a dirty boy? Who are you?
Yeah.
What are, you know? And I mean, you could even interview almost like what who is it? Mike Rowe with Dirty Jobs.
Yes. Yes. That's it. They are it. Those are the people. And
You know, and so what he did is, you know, pretty much everybody knows who he is, but I mean, he went around and he advertised the job.
That's right.
Why not highlight the people?
Dude, what a genius idea, right? I think I've watched every episode.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, I'm like, man, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know what I mean? Like
the biggest commodity we have in this earth is people. So highlight them.
Yeah. Yeah. Highlight people.
Yeah.
What a genius idea, genius show. Mike Rowe's a champion, you know what I mean? And you know, hopefully one day I'm talking to him face to face, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, that'd be so cool.
Right.
You know, representing the dirty boy, the dirty boys and the dirty girls.
Right.
So that's my next challenge is, okay, what's the Dirty Girl logo going to look like? I
Right.
made one, but I'm not happy with it. So I'm actually still trying to figure that out.
Yep.
Because I can't leave the amazing women out there that do
Right.
dirty jobs, or,
Right.
Honestly, moms, single moms,
Yeah.
they get dirty every day. Okay.
Doesn't
Providing for
always
their
mean
families.
actual dirt. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's another, I want to get this one going first,
Yep.
get momentum,
Yep.
and then be able to focus on the Dirty Girls brand side too.
That one will run on the coattails of the Dirty Boy.
That's right. Correct.
Yep.
So that's it. Awesome.
Well, Louis, thank you very much.
Don't worry.
I've been saying it on every single episode, and I am excited about this whole thing. It's early stages of this podcast. And as soon as I met you, I'm like, I know what's coming up for me, and I want him to be involved because I like you and I like your energy and I like what you got going. And this whole podcast is going to be driven by people. And, we've been going for about an hour and a half.
Bro, that's nothing. We could go for hours, buddy. We can go for hours.
I know. And I love it. And I'm not trying to fit any sort of box around this podcast. I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it. And I find myself in these conversations with people that just, they grow and they grow and they grow naturally, and I know that there's value to be spread to other people. And so the stigma that's been even just started after the first episode of my vision behind all this is extremely encouraging. So thank you for being a part of it.
Hey, thank you, dude. If we encourage just one person to not quit after this, all right, or anything you do, if you say you do 1,000 podcasts, but only one person decides not to quit and pursues their dream and makes it happen, we are successful. We are, because that's really what it's all about. True. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue to do what we do. Let's learn from each other, help each other, ask questions. You know what I mean? You know where I'm at. Call me anytime. You know where your boys are in your business, your industry. Call them anytime, dude. Brian Hess and those guys doing great things. Right. I mean, just awesome stuff, dude. So, brother, it's been pleasures, an absolute pleasure having met you. And this is good stuff, bro. And dude, I'm just glad to be involved. You know what I mean? And let's grow together. Let's grow together, man.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, all right, brother. God bless you, dude.
Amen. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. I will catch you later.
All right, go shovel some snow.
Yeah.